This is the Cliff Yates Show. Personal growth, motivation, inspiration, and philosophies for a great life.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Cliff Yates Show. You are, as always, you're in the right place. You've landed in the right place. Hopefully you did it intentionally, but we're talking today about a book I'm reading called Let Them by Mel Robbins. I like Mel Robbins. I like her content. I've liked her books. I don't follow her on a daily basis, but I follow her on Instagram, and I'm currently, as I said, reading the book Let Them, the Let Them Theory. Now, like with many personal growth, personal development, self-improvement people, a lot of the content that they have, strategies and tactics, they're not original to them, or the ideas and tactics and strategy have been said before, but with her personal filter on it. And I think it really makes a lot of sense, this book. It's really helped me lately because the Let Them Theory really deals with someone's doing something. In my life, someone has done something to our relationship, to maybe in your case, it's somebody's doing something, a child's doing something, a spouse, a relative, the government, and the theory is let them. Right? We can't control other people. I've always talked about it because I get it from other personal development people, right? We can't control what other people do, only our reaction to it. So her theory, the book is let them. They're going to do these things, let them. They're going to do that, let them. But then she says there's a part two, and that is, okay, now let me. Let you, okay? Let them, and now let you make your choice of how you're going to respond to what they're doing. You're taking back your power, or you're claiming your power. That's what I like about the book. And what I like about Mel Robbins, and I would say probably 99, I'll say 100 of the people 100% of my friends don't follow Mel Robbins. Mel Robbins, probably her audience is mostly women from what I see. She has a great following, but millions and millions of followers. When I think on her YouTube channel, maybe 3 to 4 million people following. She's got a big audience, and she had her own television show, and a national television show, and she lost. Well, I say she lost it. It was canceled. I think maybe it was around COVID time that they canceled the show, or she didn't have the show, or something. Her show went away, and I don't know the exact details, but then her life changed in that regard, and she ended up moving with her husband across the country to a strange place. When I say strange to her, in other words, she didn't know anybody in the new location. What I like about Mel Robbins is, and what I try to be also is open and authentic, especially in this day and age, where everything is either fake. A lot of people that you see online, they're filtered, and you see them in person. It's not the same. If you're watching on one of the video platforms, you can see making a face here that this isn't the person that I saw online, right? So a lot of times people filter themselves, I can see put on some makeup so you're not so shiny, but to really drastically change how your authentic look is, it's kind of weird when you meet somebody in person when you've seen them online and they have really filtered. Well, anyways, I was getting to the point of Mel Robbins is very open and honest with. Sometimes she goes live in the morning with her on her cell phone, and you can tell she doesn't have any makeup on, and that's her point. Is we can't be perfect. Don't wait to be perfect to do things, and she is authentic in what she does and real. And I try to do that too. That's why I'm connecting with you here right now live. And so if you have any comments, we're live to a couple different platforms, but if you're listening on the replay or if on one of the podcast platforms where you're listening audio only, hey, head on over to YouTube and you can see the video form, because then you'll see that I have a face for radio. It's an old joke. But Mel Robbins, and the part of the book that we're going to look at today is not only the let them theory and how you can use that and how I know I'm using it today, But this section that I made a couple of slides on is a little bit deeper. Even it has some deeper messages in there that we can really use to our advantage in trying to be better communicators and better connected to people, and to maybe expand our sphere of influence, and not only that, expand our friendships. Right, when you go to a new place, part of this chapter is talking about what she did when she got to this new place that they moved to, and she didn't know anybody. And initially, she's on the couch or in the house. My friends are gone. They're back there, where we were. And then she realized, I got to get up, get out, get going, and be the first. Be the first to say, hi, my name is Mel. Who are you? And the things she did, some of these things are, and we'll read about them, some of these things are things you might do in sales, right? Where you meet somebody and you might take a look at them and the surroundings and see what you connect with. And then you do those, you might bring those things up. What I'm thinking about is, after you meet somebody and they've explained to you, well, I live here and I have 2 kids, 4 grandkids. As soon as you leave that place, you might take a note in your phone. You might write it down, because you will forget those details. But if you write that down, the next time you see that person and you ask them how the grandkids are, or you call them by their first name or their kids, you can't imagine, because that's the most important words in anybody's vocabulary is their own personal name. You meet me for the second time and call me by my name. It hits here. And that's how you get a little bit deeper connection with people at a faster pace. So if you have any comments or questions, I have the comments section up, those who are watching live. And we are live to a couple platforms, so jump in if you want, or if maybe you follow Mel Robbins or have read some of her books. And if you haven't already, check out this book, Let Them. It's funny, I'm reading my version on Kindle. And this summer at our summer cottage, my mom came up to visit, and she threw her she's 90 years old, still learning, right? Loves to read, throws her books. She's got a couple books. She throws them on her bed, and there's that green colored Let Them book by Mel Robbins. I go, I'm reading the same book, Mom, my God. And so let's go to the first slide that I created, and we can get right at it. This is chapter, so you can see I'm halfway through this book, chapter 13, how to create the best friendships of your life. Now, here she's talking about the move that I was talking to you about. When we moved to our new town, I felt so lonely. I was brand new to the area. I knew no one my age, and I was miserable. This is what I like about Mel Robbins. She'll tell you, I'm struggling. I'm having a bad time here because of this. Now, this is what I did, or this is what I'm going to do. But right now, this is not working. At some point in your life, you are going to experience this exact same thing. Every life change creates changes in your friendships. You'll experience it if you go through a breakup or divorce, and people pick sides. You'll experience it if you or a loved one go through a major struggle, and people either have no idea how to support you or are uncomfortable, so they distance themselves. You'll experience this when you have to move for your career or education. And even if you're super excited about the change, you're going to your dream school or moving to your dream city. I mean, that's how we felt when we were moving from California to Florida. We were so excited, my wife and I, and my youngest stepson, so excited. But of course, other people, they're not that excited for us, right? We kind of are severing the closeness we have with them, right? Specifically proximity. We're no longer going to be in proximity to them. Now I'm going to continue reading from Mel's book. The reality is that when you get there, you'll have no friends. That was true. The first time you may have experienced this in your life was when you went to college. I didn't go to college. I went to community college, so I didn't experience that then. Right? She writes, you get to college and you expect to meet all your best friends right away, and that is not what happens. Everyone is nervous and latches on to the first person they meet, and they try to form a group. Within a week, it feels like everyone is already in a friends group, but if you think about your college or even high school friend group, by the time you graduate, your friend group changed a lot. That's because it takes time to find your people. Be patient. You'll find your people. I know we've made so many friends now. We've been here in Florida for 5 years, and the amount of friends that I've made because I've gotten out there, joined the tennis club, right? My wife got us into a fantastic church. So I got a church culture and group I'm connected to. The tennis group and culture I'm connected to. I walked down the beach to a gym, South Beach Fitness. I'm connected to a lot of those people in there. You get those groups and they're different cultures, and sometimes they're cross. A couple of guys that I work out with at the gym are also members of the tennis club. And so we see each other in both places. And so there's some cross-pollination there. I see. Well, when my daughter, I'm going back to the book. Give it a year, Mel says. Give it 1 year. Yeah, I got to say, it takes about a year. Not only that, it took a year for us to really find the new place, even though it was a beautiful condo on the beach. It wasn't our home. It probably took a year for me to have, this is my home now. When my daughter Sawyer went to college, she called me crying all the time, saying, I'm at the wrong school. My people are not here. I think I need to transfer. And I constantly told her to hang up the phone, go to the cafeteria and ask to sit with someone who looked interesting. You have to put yourself out there, and most importantly, you must give it a year. She hated that advice. She called me all year long. She felt so lonely and desperate. And the 2 friends she had made early on felt the exact same way. To their credit, they all kept putting themselves out there their entire first year. I know Sawyer was asking to sit with people, DMing people online to get lunch. She joined a million clubs, tried out for the club lacrosse team, got cut, went to events on campus, but nothing clicked. It really took her a full year of trying. And then, in the last few weeks of school, she met one of her now closest friends, Mary Margaret, who then introduced her and her 2 friends to 7 other girls who to this day are her people. She really had to give it a year. And when I moved, somehow I forgot my own advice. I do this all the time. Being in personal growth, self-improvement, sometimes I forget my own damn advice. And that's why sometimes I have to reread books. You know, it's like a piano. You tune a piano, it sounds beautiful. And it's a metaphor that I'm using. I don't have a piano. And but those strings were stretched in the wrong way so long that a week later, you got to retune the piano. Now, eventually, you don't have to tune it so often. And it's the same with living our best life. Sometimes we got to tune up. I know I have to do that. Okay, back to Mel Robbins. And when I moved, somehow I forgot my own advice, which is something that I do, and maybe you do too. Let me know in the comments if you want to jump on board, if this has happened to you or you do the same thing. Okay, I needed to be reminded. It would take a year of trying. Within a week of moving, I was convinced that I had made a huge mistake. Now, when we moved to the beach, we didn't think we made any mistakes. I mean, we knew we were in the right place. I felt bad for myself for an entire year. I cried all the time. Wow. And I was convinced I would never find a person that I would connect with or relate to. But what was I doing during that first year? Nothing. Sitting in my house, feeling lonely. I was not putting myself out there at all. I was not looking for opportunities to connect. I played sad music. Oh my God, I've been doing that lately. And felt bad for myself. Oh my God, I've been doing that lately. I cried and complained to my husband. I've been crying and complaining to my friends too much. I'm burning them out myself. That's me speaking. All right, back to the book. I was closed off and I made the mistake of expecting friendship to fall out of the sky and land in my lap. It doesn't work like that. I'm sure you've had an experience like this too. Maybe you moved or changed jobs or went through a breakup or a divorce or took care of a family member who was struggling. I don't know if I continued with the thing. She talks about going into a coffee shop. And it makes a lot of sense, right? If you go into a coffee shop and people aren't very friendly, Let them. That's part of her book, right? The let them theory. If their calendar is so busy they can't find time to go for a walk, let them. If they cancel plans this weekend because they've had a long week at work, let them. If they fall in love or have a baby and you are no longer a priority, let them. If they move away and start a different chapter of their life, let them. If they stop returning your calls, let them. If they are prioritizing other friendships or work, let them. If the timing, proximity, or energy is off, let them. People are going to come and go in your life. It's so true. And the more flexible you are, the more they do. It's such a beautiful thing to let them. Focus on let me. Oh, let me read that again. I think people are going to come and go in your life, and the more flexible you are, the more they do. It's such a beautiful thing to let them. Focus on let me, because that is what is in your control. That goes to the old Stoicism philosophy for thousands of years ago, right? Focus on what you can control, not what they're doing. We're going to focus on let me. When the energy feels off, okay, let me call or text. If someone crosses my mind, let me act with the belief that some of my most favorite friends, I haven't met them yet. Let me go first. So let's summarize how to master adult friendship. You have been approaching adult friendship the same way you did as a kid. You just expected it to happen. The let them theory empowers you to stop expecting friendship to happen and to take responsibility for creating it. Right? We got to take control and power, and easier said than done, but let's do it. Number one, problem. The great scattering happens. Well, that happens, right? When we change jobs, change locations. And let me go back to the book. The great scattering happened, and you didn't realize it. You have been approaching friendship the wrong way ever since. You have expected to be included. You have expected to be around your friends all the time. You've expected the text back. That expectation has led to feelings of disconnection, isolation, and uncertainty in approaching new or existing friendships. Here's the truth, people. There are 3 pillars to adult friendship: proximity, timing, and energy. It's your responsibility to understand these 3 pillars and adopt a flexible mentality and proactive approach to your friendships. You have so much power. And there was something else, I didn't get to it. Here's something she did in the coffee shop that we can do. And I was talking about this earlier. After you meet somebody, you can do things to kind of cement that name and details until you get to your car or to your seat and you make a little note in your phone. Believe me, it's important to do that. You may not even have to look at that note again, but you will remember it because you made the note. So she goes into the coffee shop, orders a coffee. I'm going to go back to Mel's writing here. When he handed me the coffee, I said, Oh, I know what she did. She had written down his name before when she first met him. Hi, I'm new in town. What is your name? I'm Mel. Kevin, nice to meet you. So then when she went back again, this is how I think I did the wrong order of this chapter. So now when he hands the coffee, she says, thanks, Kevin. So when I sat down with my coffee, I immediately opened up my phone and created a new contact file for the coffee shop. In the notes section, I added Kevin, the tall barista with a beard. I did right away because I was afraid I would forget his name if I waited until I got in the car. Next, I turned to the young couple who I had seen morning after morning at the coffee shop, but never spoken to before. Hey guys, I see you here a lot. I just moved to the area. I wanted to introduce myself. I'm Mel. What's your name? Gregory and Jordan. Couldn't have been nicer. I immediately put their names in my coffee shop contact under Kevin's name in the notes section with a short description. Cute married couple, moved from LA, baby's adorable. Then I asked them how long they lived in the area. Turns out they had just moved here a year ago too. Next, I asked them what they did. You want to know something crazy? Gregory works in the podcast business. Jordan is a psychologist. What are the odds? And to think I spent a year sitting 10 feet away from the people who I had so much in common with. What I was doing in the coffee shop goes way deeper than making small talk. I was starting to create a community for myself. Simply knowing all the names of the familiar faces around you will make you feel more connected to where you live. Plus, the more people you meet, the faster you will find the people you truly connect with. And there are even more benefits to this. By going first, you create a connection that has a huge impact on your well-being and happiness, and it is often overlooked. Researchers say the kind of people you sit next to at the coffee shop or stand next to in the elevator in your building are not strangers. They are weak ties. These people are super powerful and an important part of your life. They can become a foundation you build that lifts you up in your day-to-day routine. Learn their names, say hello, pet their dogs, put descriptions in your contacts so that you can refresh your memory before you walk into the coffee shop tomorrow. Hey, does that resonate with you? Have you done these kind of things? I'm telling you, I can't tell you the differences. I'll tell you how the difference it's going to make. Let me put a personal story. Let me talk about a personal story. Moving here from California 5 years ago, right? 3,000 miles away, retired LA County Sheriff's Department. Walking around, my wife says, I found a church that we could go to. I think you're going to like the pastor. According to what this person I met and introduced myself to at this Tiki Cafe, Mel, as a matter of fact, her name is Mel from Tiki Cafe here on Paradise Beach. And she said, oh, you want a Bible-based church? Go to this church, Coastline Community Church. And so we go for months, I'd say 2 to 3 months. And then one of the guys at the front door, he connects with me. Hey, listen, you've been coming here a while, but you're new. How long have you guys lived here? Are you from the area? And then I tell him my story, the police story, and he says, hey, I'm retired from the Florida Department of Law Enforcement, FDLE. Turns out he's from upstate New York like me. And so he said, you're a retired police officer. We need to get you on the safety team. Okay, I'll come on the safety team. That sounds interesting. So Brad Lewis, the head guy, says, I'm going to schedule you with the guy who interviews people for the safety team. And so I do that, and now I'm going to be on the safety team. And then I got a message from him a couple days later. Your classmate also works here or volunteers here on the safety team. He goes to the church. I'm thinking, my classmate? Someone from my high school or what? No, your classmate. He types, your classmate from the LA Sheriff's. And I'm thinking, why? How could that? He must have me confused with somebody else. But no, Ray Roth, a guy from my academy class from the LA County Sheriff's Department, where I worked for 30 years, and so did he. He retires. I mean, now, keep this in mind, we didn't talk for 20 years on the Sheriff's Department, and we didn't stay connected. And so we didn't see each other at all. And now, 30 years after graduating the academy, here we are at the same church. We live 2 miles away from each other, and now we're connected again. That's how small a world. But what if I hadn't been approached by Brad Lewis from the church, who said, hey, my name's Brad. Are you new here? He went first, as Mel Robbins would say. And because he went first, I became a member of the safety team. I ended up hooking up with my academy. We got to put ourselves out there. That's the message. That's a personal story from me. Let's continue with Mel's book. I mean, is this good stuff or what? I mean, I just think we can get so much from it. Oh, this next paragraph just ties right into what I was just talking about. The habit of going first. Let me be the first to introduce myself. Let me be the first to say, I'm new here. How long have you lived here? Let me be the first to say, if you ever want to go for a walk, let me know. Here is my number. Slowly but surely, one awkward conversation at a time, I not only met my people, I found some of my most favorite people I've never met in my life in this small rural town. And if I can make amazing friends in my 50s, you can make amazing friends too, wherever you live, at whatever age you are. Well, I'm doing it right now, and I'm 68. And, sometimes it is awkward to be, hey, how are you? What's your name? Hey, where are you from? Are you from here? It's a little bit easier in Florida because so many people are transplanted or moved here later in life. And so it's not that awkward. But it can be awkward. And so here she is saying how she puts herself out there and how it could be awkward in her 50s. I'm 68, Mel. So you can imagine how awkward sometimes it is for me. But I continue to do it. Like she says, one awkward conversation at a time. And you can do it whatever your age is. I'm going to tell you right now. It's never too late because everyone wants and needs friendship in their life, even if people already have their friend group. There's always room for someone you truly click with. All you have to do is go first. That's it. Go first. Be the one to say hi to whoever's around you. It makes all the difference. I didn't do that for a long time. This is Mel. Now I'm back to Mel. Sometimes I go back and forth between me and Mel, but this is Mel. From her book, Let Them. For the year that I sat in my house crying, even when I went out, I was closed off. I would walk into a coffee shop, see the same people, and I knew no one's name because I didn't ask. That's why I didn't know anybody. I kept to myself. I didn't talk to anyone. The second I started going first, I walked into the same coffee shop that I had most days for an entire year, and as the cashier rang me up, I said, I'm Mel. What's your name? Kevin. All right, that slide should have went first when I told the story about her writing the name down. I think that's so true. I'll tell you right now, I used a little bit of this tactic when I read something different where after a breakup or a divorce, you have a mindset of I'll never find love again, and the idea was go outside with the mindset wherever you go. You're going to find love wherever you go. Now, so I started doing that on my road trip back here to Florida from New York. Now, I went into one of those truck stop places, Sheetz, S-H-E-E-T, nice place. It's like a Love's, probably a competitor. And, I went in with it. Now, listen, this is a true story. Now, whether it was because of my attitude or not, I don't know. You can never know for sure. But I had the attitude. I'm going to find love wherever I go. Even when I go into Sheetz. And I was tired. I needed a cup of coffee. I like my coffee when I'm driving 500-600 miles in one day. So I went, got my cup of coffee, the big, sturdy, expensive cup with the cap on it. Went over and got in line. I'm only 2 back in line, but then a guy who was running around, I saw him running around earlier. I said hi to him. And he jumps on the cash register and he says, I'll take whoever's next. Oh, here. He looks at me and he says, oh, you just have a cup of coffee? Makes eye contact with me. I go, yeah. He goes, you're good. I got it. He didn't charge me. I walked out. I don't know. Is it because I went in that place with the mindset, I'm going to find love wherever I go? I wasn't closed off. I met him with a smile. I think it had a lot to do with it. All you have to do is try it. That's what I was doing because I had heard it or read it somewhere. So it said, just try it. See if you get different. I got a different reaction as far as I'm concerned. No one ever gave me a cup of coffee before on my road trips in the past. For years, we've been driving from California to our summer place in New York. And now we've been, for 5 years, driving from Florida twice a year. I never had a free cup of coffee. Even my wife never got a free cup of coffee, and she is sexy and beautiful. Hey, so try it. I think it works. All you have to do is go first. Back to Mel's book. The second I started going first, I walked into the same coffee shop that I had most. Okay, we already read that. Continuing on. When you say let them, this is Mel talking again. You release the need to cling to friendships that no longer serve you, making space for connections that truly matter. When you say, let me, you take charge of your social life, reaching out, initiating, and cultivating the kind of friendships that reflect your values and bring you happiness. It's time to stop waiting and start creating, building the best friendships of your life and surrounding yourself with a community that uplifts and supports you. You have so many laughs, memories to make, and incredible adventures in your future. It's all there waiting for you to reach out and create it. All you have to do is go first. That's all you have to do is go first. This really is a great book. I mean, you should get this book. Mom's got it, 90 years old, 90 years young. Okay, now when she says, hey, maybe you want to go for a walk, what's your name, your number? We can, this is probably taken out of order that I should have put it up, but back to Mel. But walking is just one example. I have invited groups of people to meet up and listen to jazz at a local inn, to go to a wreath-making class, to go to a drag queen bingo event, and to volunteer to help local farmers dig up dahlia bulbs. My husband Chris also used this approach. He joined a gym, signed up for a golf league, and took a bunch of paddle tennis clinics. He got involved at the local ski mountain. He became a hospice volunteer. All of these things led him to meet people with similar interests. Chris then looked for fun things happening in town or nearby and invited a new friend to do it with him. He joined a team to compete in a men's ski race. He started a Tuesday morning sunrise climb the mountain and then ski down group. They meet in a parking lot. The word has spread, and now on any given Tuesday, you'll see 15 to 20 people of all ages and from surrounding towns hiking up the mountain together. What does that tell you? That slowly but surely you can make more friends, and that every single one of us is looking for opportunities to connect with other people and find new friends. Instead of sitting around hoping that someone else starts a hiking group or a walking club or a book club, you go first. Using the let them theory, you'll not only make better friendships, you'll be a better friend too. This matters. Your friendships create a good life. Good friends make you happier, healthier, and bring your life meaning. And friendships are one of the things you'll cherish most as you go through your life. The let them theory will help you create the friendships you deserve, which are going to require you to be flexible. Remember, friends are going to come and go in your life. Stop expecting the invitation. Stop gripping so tightly when things start to shift, and start taking responsibility for how you show up. Let them will help you be more flexible, not take things personally, and allow the right people to come in and let the wrong people leave. It will also help you navigate this very awkward period where you are making new friends. I assume that's what it takes. I cut that. It says I cut that off. But I have made so many new friends here in Florida because I reached out. I got out there, the tennis club, just like Mel's husband, joined the golf group. In the skiing group, I joined the tennis club, met people from New York, from all over, and I continued those friendships. And the church, being on the safety team, now we have meetings, and I meet new people. And going through challenges recently, relationship, some things where I've been trying on a daily basis to let them, and then let me, which is what I'm doing now, continuing with the podcast that I like to do, that really fulfills me, when I just get one message, Cliff, what you said impacted me in such a positive way. It made me do this, this, and this. When I get a message like that, it's worth $1 million to me or more. It has no value. It's priceless. To have a positive impact on other people is a priceless commodity for me. That's for me. And this whole section on friendships has really hit the home, because during a struggling time now, I've had friends step up to the plate. At my summer cottage, I had over 15 visitors this summer. I had 4 friends fly in from California that wanted to, and my cat is keeping me company, as you heard. All of a sudden, she wants to talk to me. Stop talking. I'll talk to you later. Now she wants to be vocal. Only when you're doing a live broadcast will your cat try to get on the show. Why don't you go back in your hat? You can be Cat in the Hat. There's a movie coming out called Cat in the Hat, just like the book series. I just saw it at the movies, and we're going to talk about that. Where was I before my cat? All my friends that came out to visit me. So these are friends that I met over 40 years ago on the LA County Sheriff's Department. And so they came out to support me in my plight that I was going through. So, we got to be there for other people, just like people are there for us. And not only that, recently I've been connected with people that I hadn't been connected to for over 20, 30 years, because they're going through similar life changes as I am. So we're reconnecting our friendship, and it's been very fulfilling on both ends. And so you have to look at it that way. And I'm going on to the next slide here. No comments right now. Jump in. Feel free to comment if you have anything to say. If it's good, positive, I'm going to include it in the show. All right, back to Mel's book, where she says, one conversation at a time, I started creating my social scaffolding. Oh, I like that metaphor. I got a little visual of scaffolding where you keep adding level after level. She's adding to her social scaffolding this network of people around me that I knew by first name. Hi, Kevin. Hi, Gregory. Hi, Jordan. Which made me feel a little less lonely. It's also how I met one of my now closest friends, David. We were living a mile away from each other for a year, and we never met because we were both sitting alone in our homes, feeling sorry for ourselves. Oh boy, I've had a few of those days recently, which is why I need the piano tune-up with this book, Let Them. We started as a hello in a coffee shop. Hi, how are you? And now he is one of my favorite people in the entire world. And he and his husband have become like family. Okay, obviously a same-sex marriage there. No judgment, just calling it out. If I can do it, so can you. The let them theory is going to help you take this on. Will some people be a little awkward? Oh yeah, you know it. I find this in the grocery store. Because I try to bring joy to people. People I don't even know. Hey, how are you? Hey, I like that. Good to see you. People get standoffish. Hey, do I know you? Well, not yet. And probably not going to with this attitude. All right, David. Okay, they became closest friends. If I can do it, so can you. And if I can do it, so can you. Believe me. The let them theory is going to help you take this on. Yeah, some people are going to be awkward. You know what? Let them. Will most people be warm and receptive? Yes. Let them. Creating friendship really is about the let me part. Right? We let other people are doing crazy, nasty things. Let them. And then on the other side of the coin, let me. And here are some simple things I did to make myself go first. Compliment people everywhere you go. If you love their nail color, tell them. If you love their necklace, tell them. If you like their car, their bike, their golf cart, tell them. If you love their outfit, tell them. If you like their socks, say it. People love to be complimented. They really do. I mean, when you notice somebody's necklace or their pendant or their ring, those are very personal things that you really like, and they They feel a comfort in having them on. And if you take notice of them, because sometimes they have great meaning, it could be just something, their initial, and you notice that, you're going to be one of very few that notice it or say anything to them. Put yourself in a different category. You're above and beyond. So you see these things, you tell them. And it's a foolproof way to break the ice with someone without feeling weird. Number 2, be curious. Ask them what they're reading, right? You see someone, hey, what are you reading? Or, hey, that necklace, is that initial for your name? Is that turquoise? Ask them what they ordered. People love to talk about themselves, boy, don't they? So feed right into it. And even if it doesn't go any further than the other person saying thank you, you get points for being the one who goes first. You're going to get extra points, everybody. Smile and say hello to anyone and everyone you pass or meet. Now, I do that already. And now I've habituated it so much, I do it anyways. Surprising, and this is self patting myself on the back, but I called to transfer Wi-Fi services to the new studio here. And I was on the phone, and boy, was I having in my mind a bad day. But of course, I was habituating friendly banter with the person who was helping me, and I was very thankful for his help. But I was having a bad day internally based on what people were doing, and I was letting them, but they were affecting me. But I was letting me take care of my business. And I was on the phone, and the person said, "Hey, thanks for being so patient with me." "Oh no, I'm having a bad day. I hope I have been patient." "Oh no, I can tell by the way you're talking that you're a positive person." I go, "Wow, that made me feel really good," because I didn't even know how I was coming across. I know internally what some of my self-talk was, and it wasn't positive. But smile and say hello to anyone and everyone you pass or meet. I do this now, and I've done it so often for so many years. I do it out of habit. Being a warm and approachable person is a skill. If you practice it, it becomes a way of life. Just like I was telling you before I read that. I hadn't even read that before. I'm reading the book with you right now. I've read over half of it, but I wanted to include this section with you today. Let's see. Solution. Using the let them theory, start creating connections without any expectations. You go first, saying hello to people around you and building that feeling of community wherever you live today. Sign up for that class, create the book club, send the text, one awkward conversation at a time. You will find your people. This approach empowers you to create the most incredible community around you, filled with friendships that are meaningful, supportive, and aligned with who you are. Absolutely. I got to do better. I can do better. I've done pretty good, but I can do better. As a matter of fact, I am doing better. Now, I was a cop for 35 years, but at the same time, I was also a stand-up comedian for 25 of those at least. I mean, active stand-up comedian. I was a cop by day, comedian by night. And so I was acting. So cop culture, community, stand-up comedian, culture, community, acting, community, culture, for sure, and operating with all those fields that sometimes cross over. And so tomorrow, I've actually stepped up because for 5 years, I've been driving by this Funky Frog improv theater. And I says, you know what, damn it, I'm going to take an improv class. I said 3 to 4 years ago. And guess what? I signed up tomorrow night, 6:30 p.m. I'll be starting my first of 4 improv classes. Now, I'm expecting to do very well, but we'll see. Improv's a little different, but I've, improved quite a bit doing stand-up when I do some crowd work. I'm interacting with people. I don't know what they're going to say, and I don't know what I'm going to say until I say it, but it gets to be a habit in being comfortable with a pause and knowing the thoughts will come into your head and you will be able to articulate them like today. The only prompts I have are these pages from Mel Robbins books, and then my personal stories. I didn't write down any personal stories to talk to you about. As they trigger a memory, then I'm talking to you about them. Boy, is this so true. And I only think I have one page of this chapter, but it's so... People only change when they feel like it. If they wanted to, they would. If they could, they would. Even if they should, they won't do it unless they want to and they can. And real life is hitting me right in the stomach with this truism that I'm reading right now. People only change when they feel like it. Chapter 14 of Mel Robbins' book, Let Them. One of the most common questions that I have been, I'm reading from Mel's book. One of the most common questions that I have been asked over the years: how do I motivate someone else to change? Now, my podcast is everything motivation, inspiration, personal growth, but you can't really motivate people. They have to have that desire. Hey, listen, I want to change. I want to get the results you're getting. Wait, I want to get to this point. I know where I'm at. I know where I want to go, or I know I want to go somewhere. They are self-motivated. You can't really put motivation into someone. If they are motivated, then you can inspire them and direct them and lead them. And maybe that's what the podcast should be named. Leadership, if you want it. The reality is, I'm going back to the book now, the reality is people only change when they feel like changing. It doesn't matter how much you want someone to change. Oh man. It doesn't matter how valid your reasons are. It could be totally valid. Or that you are right in your opinion that they should change. Or how big the consequences are if they don't change. Mel Robbins is not in the book here, but she did say on a recent post, I believe on Instagram, she's saying, we can't save everybody. Sometimes we have to let them do what they're going to do and feel the consequences of their actions. Sometimes we have to let them do the things they're doing, knowing that there are going to be negative consequences, and we have to let them feel that, because they won't change just based on our say-so if they don't want to or are unable to. If someone doesn't feel like changing, they won't. And worse, when you pressure someone to change, it just creates more tension, resentment, and distance in your relationships. And I learned this the hard way. Back to the book. I'll prove it to you. I want you to think about someone in your life whom you care about and you wish would change. Okay, this is happening to me right now today. It could be anyone, your mom, your niece, your spouse, your husband, or your wife, your roommate, your brother, your ex, your kids, your sister-in-law, your best friend, your partner, anyone. You wish they would get a better job, lose weight, get off the drugs, get off the antidepressants, be more motivated, be loyal to their marriage vows, do the right thing, don't destroy a life. You wish they would wake up earlier, stick to a budget. I've added a few things not in the book. You don't know which ones they are unless you read the book. Pick up after themselves, stop dating, losers, be more proactive, drink less, help take care of the dog, stop being so negative, change their views on politics, be more appreciative, stop smoking, be more involved with the kids, or stop leaving their dishes in the sink. You wish they would do these things, but you can't make them do them. You know what? You can try to persuade them. I think we can have a positive influence on people in many of those areas, I think. But even then, they will have to say, based on your persuasion, I want to now change. And then they'll do it. That's all we're going to take from the book tonight. Let Them Theory. And you got the title, Let Them. They're going to leave you. Let them. They're going to destroy your life by gambling 24 hours a day. Let them. But then, let me. There's always a second part to that book, Let Me. So I think the book is worth reading. Check it out by Mel Robbins. Check her out on YouTube. Check her out on Instagram. Really great content. And she comes from an authentic place. She will tell you, this happened, I was struggling. Listen, our marriage was almost over. She'll tell you, we were doing this, I was doing that, he was doing, we finally said, hey, listen, and this is what we did going forward. What we did, these 5 things probably saved our marriage. I'm just making that part up. But these are the kind of things that she talks about authentically and real and true happenings that she's going through, which is what I do with you. I'm so happy that I got to be back with you today. Now, not the best of conditions. I mean, I don't have any sound treatment on the floors or the walls. There's some echo in the room. I'm in a blank studio here. We had to leave the other studio. And so we build back up, but I'm not abandoning you. I had to get this episode out to you because you're important to me. And listen, when I have a positive influence, if I have a positive impact on you, that bounces back to me, which is why I want to connect with you. I want to help you get to the next level to live your best life because it pulls me along with you, and then I'm living my best life. This is so true. It's getting me I'm getting jacked up now just thinking about these issues. All right, everybody, that's it for this week. If you haven't already, please, if you watch on YouTube, subscribe to the channel. Share it with somebody who might need the message. Maybe they want to get the book. Or read the book and get it for them. And if you're listening on one of the podcast platforms like Apple, iTunes, hey, leave a review. All right? Give me a bunch of stars and leave a review. And then you will have had a positive impact on me, and I will have appreciated it. And if you leave a review, I'm going to give you a big thanks. All right, everybody, this is Cliff Yates. I will see you in the next episode.